All right, everyone, we are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, your chief host of the show, and joining me as always is none other than my co-host Avira.
Hey guys, what's up? Happy Friday. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you might be. And man, this has been an absolutely bonkers week. My goodness, so much stuff has happened. I mean, you know, I say that sometimes, like on these shows, like, oh, it was a crazy week. But man, this week was actually like historic. This was crazy. So man, I can't wait to get into this.
Not just that, but I would say I will be remiss to say a lot of things just kind of happened suddenly, hit us in the face, and you'll see why. But
Mm-hmm.
in due time, I will say that today's episode would have been theoretically impossible to make, but we're making it.
Foreshadowing. Gotcha.
hmm And joining us as always is none other than our always present interim host, Noble.
I wish I had a wish dragon. It would be tenacious.
I mean, Wish.com can fulfill that purpose for you if it that. You can ask the
That was more
Chinese.
referring to Tenacious D in one of our
Yeah.
subjects today.
Oh, I know what you were talking about. Oh man. What a fool. What a fool, man.
Oh man.
And the Wish Dragon movie was actually kind of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, it was great.
That was fun. All right. So, let's get started with all the stuff that's been hitting us with all the craziness, of course. Just a couple of hours ago, like if any, like just not even half a day from the time of recording, which is now. Did you guys experience any sort of technical outage, anything that was kind of impacting you with quality of life?
At that particular time, no, I did not, because I wasn't online at the time. So I heard about it a little while after it happened, and then it said that it got the systems back online. But nah, I personally didn't see anything.
When I went to Coles yesterday afternoon after going to the post office to get my little thing from there, I tried to buy some chocolate, and it was a bit of a problem in Coles because all our computers were blue screening.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're
That
like,
was
"Oh,
very
are you
common.
paying with cash?" And I'm like, "No, card." And like, "Oh, you have to like go to the service desk."
Yeah, man, it was pretty wild. I was seeing pictures of like entire like office, like cubicles, like an aerial view. Everyone blue screened, like like entire offices.
I mean, my story was like on my drive home from work, I went on there and usually I tune into the radio station that I usually listen to for music, and then all of a sudden it was playing Michael Jackson, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. No sound was coming out. I flicked over to a different radio station that was working fine. Flicked back, dead set nothing, and I was like, something's up.
Huh.
At the
Weird.
time, I didn't know what it was specifically, and then now I find out, and then old mate of mine, who works in a very important industry, says, are you having this problem? And yeah, and it's also affecting a very big sectors like aviation too, which is insane.
Oh yes, that's correct. I did see as well. Many airports were also totally blue screened. So
And it's
imagine like getting off your flight and trying to like check your next location or like where you are, or like you get to the airport and you're trying to find where your flight is. Everything is down. That must have caused entirely crazy delays. Oh my goodness.
and it's not just that. Like it actually happened like the world over because like I was seeing channels saying, Hong Kong airport, the Narita and that have also went and blue screened.
Oh, wow.
When you sit back and you just watch the chaos unfolding, sometimes it's really entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It is, yes, but thankfully this was. I mean, it can affect some people in negative ways, which is unfortunate. But this was actually not like a hacker event or anything like that. And nothing was compromised. Basically, what this was, some sort of a glitch in the system caused by a cloud strike, which is used by many companies for cybersecurity. And I believe you have an article about that in more detail, right?
I mean, I believe so here and there. I'm really just again, shockified by what it is, So again, like a lot of sectors, as you know, is uses the CrowdStrike security system and all that. And what do you know? Everything just seems to blue screen from banking to aviation, supermarkets, and yeah.
Did we have the article about that or no?
Yeah, I mean, I believe I've got one. Let me just share with you one of them though. So, but yeah, it's actually quite scary how this all happened. Really.
Wow, blue screen. The blue screen of death affects millions of Windows PCs after a CrowdStrike IT outage. Millions, wow.
Yeah, all over the world, a lot of people using Windows and that, and even then, like it's got a big impact. Sky News has been taken off air. Airlines reporting problems, supermarkets, and of course, like the whole, you have to go to a cash machine to get money out.
Wow. Oh, hold on. They said trains to be canceled and even something to be taken off the air.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm definitely sure it's going to affect public transport. And
the blue screen of death.
And yeah, and then you can kind of funny say, of course, like there was a meme going around saying, oh, Elon saying, oh, but this is still working. Everything was blue screening while Twitter was working. Yeah, I mean, at least you still have phones for that.
Wow.
And they were like, it's so crazy. Like they were telling planes not to land.
Well, air traffic control had no air traffic control. Like their systems were probably in recovery or something.
I love this, to be honest.
That's scary, dude. Imagine being in a plane and you're like, oh, well, we can't land because every computer in like a 10-mile radius is down. Like, what the crap? Like, what the hell do you do, man?
All right. So the company itself wasn't that well known to the public. It was only known to majority of corporations or people who worked in the business.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one way of getting really popular and famous really quickly in a pretty bad light. This also looks really bad on Microsoft's sort of side of things because, whoops. I mean, you've had the Windows 10 fiasco and now Windows 11's instability and the cybersecurity company, which quite clearly didn't do any actual testing prior to release. I mean, Microsoft might be doing that, but if your software is like literally, burying itself inside the core of a computer, you probably want to make sure that shit isn't going to go sideways when you release a patch.
Right.
But anyway.
And all these companies that are using that software, like millions around the world. Yikes, man.
If you're one of those idiots that like to sit around and say, oh, well, we have the internet. We don't have to worry about owning DVDs or Blu-rays or CDs because we can listen to, oh, shit.
Oh, fat chance. No way, man. Physical media is the way to go.
And and on a side note, I hate to give the kudos to the people who own a non-Windows system, like Linux. Okay, you're fine. I get that. I get why people want to switch that. But Macs, bro, I hate that now. Mac people have a chance to like friggin', to gloat now. Oh, every Mac still work.
Okay.
Yeah, buy an Apple. Mm-mm.
Yeah, buy an Apple product every year because your previous one will break on purpose. But that's a whole different thing.
The original reason people bought Apple is because it was supported the longest, and now because, well, Google are turning around and they're wanting to support their own devices for up to 7 years, quote unquote. that changes the mark significantly. So Apple's either going to have to go for 10 years or, yeah, but Microsoft is pretty much fucked at this point. The only saving grace they're going to have is if they decide to extend the life of Windows 10. Even then, they're going to be on thin ice.
I mean, Microsoft has a whole myriad of problems that they need to go out and solve right now, but they're just going about it the wrong possible ways.
Even then, though, the shit that's been going on, and the best part was apparently the CEO or the owner of the company for the cybersecurity place went on the news and he started choking up during the interview. I just sat there watching the news article of that, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. The poor bastard.
No, but
Wow.
honestly,
Well,
though,
thankfully, everything seems like it's back to normal. Every computer system that was affected seems to be back up and running at normal capacity.
they're in the process of recovering, troubleshooting, and figuring out what the root cause of it was. But I suppose, really, at the end of the day, maybe it does underscore an over-reliance on these digital systems that we've got. And you're right. Like, it's so funny now. They had, you've seen it now that the airports have gone back to in terms of contingency, going back to boarding parts of the old-fashioned way, pen and paper.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. Physical record. Perfect.
The thing that really sort of kicks me at this point is the airports used to use Windows 3.1 and people would bag on them for that. Windows 3.1 would have saved their asses at this point. Sorry.
But, too bad Microsoft's getting rid of support for its older systems. So there you go. What can you say? And
all I can say is if you the poor bastard that has to sit there and input the BitLocker key to basically get in and, fix the problem, I hope you're used to using a numerical keypad or have access to one, because that's going to save you a lot of time.
And you know what they say now, sometimes they also, in some cases, they're smallening down keyboards as well. So you don't have the whole... whole thingo.
All right.
But yeah, hopefully with any luck, though. Again, it reminds me to say to you, have some physical copies of everything from multimedia to cash money, and you should be set.
Have a spare laptop with the Linux distribution installed on it, updated weekly, just to just in case your main system decides to go. Oh, see ya.
Oh, we have an interesting comment here from the Journal. He says, physical media never dies no matter what if they try to get rid of it, because it'll always be there. Well, yeah, there's definitely a major difference when you have media like something you paid for it, but it's like on a cloud, and if the server goes down, then it's just gone to the ether.
Don't forget about rot.
Yeah, makes sense. And they're collectible too.
Apart from that, though, well, one can only see what lines up. What's going to be happening in the years ahead if we're going to continue our over dependence on tech or return to monkey. But that aside, though, we will talk more about Microsoft and all of their initiatives and whatever have you on other Microsoft products in a bit. But for now, though, we are going to talk about the main reason why we're doing one big reason why we do the show. Of course, it's to laugh at memes and funny stuff and crazy stuff.
Oh boy, yes. So, in light of unfortunately dark events that happened last week, unless you're like living under a rock, clearly you know what happened to.
I wish to ask you, Ari,
that.
Doggo, how's
Yes?
your ear?
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
How's your ear?
I'm sorry. What? I can't hear you. Huh? All right. Huh. Anyways, this is a crazy thing that happened. We're not going to get all political about this. Love him or hate the guy. There were some pretty badass memes that came out of this event. I mean, thank God he's alive, because no one wants anyone to freaking get killed. I mean, that's insane. But thank God he's all right. But man, the internet is so damn creative. Y'all got to see the crazy shit that's been spreading around. It's totally bonkers.
Bro, they made an anime out of this.
I saw the anime. Oh yes, that was amazing. He catches the bullet. Holy crap. Oh goodness. We have any examples?
Yeah.
Want to share here?
I'm on the case, man. I got you covered. We're gonna watch the anime of this.
Oh, let's do it.
It's here we go. You guys see? Are you guys able to see the anime? Yeah.
Yeah. We can
Yeah,
see
we're
it.
watching.
Yeah.
I don't hear any music, but it doesn't even need music. It's so good. And look at that! Oh, that triumphant.
Literally, all you can hear is you can see the man just dancing to YMCA, and then bang.
And this was made 3 days, or it was posted 3 days after the event. That is some insane dedication and creativity right there. My goodness. We also have of course, Twitter exploded over this, event. Gonna be nice for YouTube. I'm not gonna get too crazy about it, but man, did you see the furry memes?
I'm not so sure about the furry memes, but you know what?
The one that I sent
I
you?
haven't.
Maybe not, but we gotta.
Oh, you didn't see that? Oh, that was a cool one.
You gotta start at the classics first, man. You gotta start at the classics first.
Okay. Oh my god, yes.
It's just like that scene in The Matrix.
Oh, Matrix.
Bro, and you know what? It's the it just seems so non-stop. Like like just mere hours after it happened, like I was literally watching this. I'm like, what the heck? And then mere hours after it happened, it's
Yeah, I mean, it was a wild historical event. Just to witness an assassination attempt on any president or presidential candidate. I mean, with Ronald Reagan, he was shot. Teddy Roosevelt. I mean, Abraham
Garfield.
Lincoln. Yeah.
oh
Like,
my god, yes. I think
It's a
I found-
dangerous job. I mean, crap. I think it's probably statistically wise, one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, because 10% of all presidents have been assassinated, or maybe it's 5%, but I think it's a big
It
number.
depends on the thing, though. But being a president or a former president,
It's
I
insane.
mean, it happened to it happens to the Japanese.
Yeah,
Oh,
with
man.
Shinzo Abe. Oh my goodness, did you see the Shinzo Abe memes?
Oh my god, yes, I did.
Yes, you did. Oh my dude, that was crazy.
Oh my god. But first, I think I found the furry one that you were talking about, and this was it.
Oh, there we go. Oh man, put that on a t-shirt.
Oh heck yeah!
It's so epic.
In fact, somebody drew that, and dude, that thing is gonna sell.
Oh yeah. I mean, it really is crazy. To be fair, man, it feels like we live in a movie. Like this isn't real, right? How in the crap did he survive? I mean, it must have been some kind of a miracle or something, because you can't make this up. It was that close. Oof, it's just spooky to think about.
No, it's almost as if there was a really like an element of luck, an element of the supernatural or a higher power was basically had his hand of protection upon him. But man,
Wild, absolutely wild. So,
and yeah, but there's a lot of memes I'm still gonna share around. Like a lot of
oh
if you
yeah, well of course, you know,
if
other.
you're inclined into playing games, we've got the one from we've got one from Fallout where you basically where it's like you scan the man and then the preferred the preferred hitbox was just there. One.
Oh man.
Oh man, yeah, indeed. If you are on onto if older style games are more in kin for you, I know this was me as a childhood too. RuneScape, literally as if the man had protection from a deadly
Oh, that's a good
projectiles.
one.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I think. Oh, this is kind of a dark one. Did you see the keychain with Shinzo Abe, JFK, and Trump?
Oh my goodness, no, I did not.
Okay, so basically to describe it is I don't have an image of it, but you had JFK like one, and then there was like a hole where like where they shot him in the head, and like it was connected to like the other people who were shot. It was weird, like pictures of their heads all on a 3 keychain. I mean, I don't know if that's like sick and creepy or just creative. I mean, I don't know, but whoa,
No,
it was weird, man.
They made memes of Shinzo Abe saving Trump.
Yeah,
I
did
know.
you see? Did you see the meme of Shinzo Abe from Heaven with a katana?
The Shinzo Abe catching.
I swear, is it GIMP or Photoshop? What's that new one they're using?
Affinity was the other one they're using because Adobe, went all ham on other shit. And at least Affinity is one-time payment, so
Ah, that's it, Affinity.
Wait, hold on, go up. Yeah.
Mr.
Mr. President, why did you suddenly turn your head? Well, for a moment, I thought I heard the voice of an old friend, Shinzo Abe. Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, dude. It just never stops, man. But you know what? You can say whatever you want, but that picture, all of that picture is now like historic, timeless.
I mean, love him or hate him, that was pretty badass to survive an assassination attempt while, telling your Secret Service to wait. You get up there, blood on your face, yelling, fight. I mean, that's a fucking Chad right there. Like, let's be real. That was crazy.
And then days after, he keeps walking up and down as if nothing ever happened.
Yeah, like 2 days later, he was in Milwaukee at the convention. Like, all right. Wild. Just wild, man.
And you know what though? I know you can say whatever you want about it, but the sheer fact is, there's a lot that goes into. There's just a lot to unpack. Like maybe it
Oh,
was
yeah. I mean,
luck.
can you imagine if he did die? Like, if he did, turn his head like 3 degrees or whatever it was. Like, if Trump actually died, like live on TV, how chaotic would this world be? I
Yeah,
mean, I don't even know what would happen.
it's not something I'd want to think about, but it's whatever it is, it's not going to be pleasant.
It's just
sure.
it's just a miracle, dude.
No. I agree. And it's not just that. It's not just that. It's more than just a miracle. But man,
Even at the RNC last night, Trump was joking about it. Like, when he brought up the chart, he's like, "Oh, look at the chart. Hey, I never actually got to see the chart because we're like, oh my god, he's a funny dude, man. Like Trump is really freaking funny. To make light of this crazy situation is just, you know what? Whatever, man. God bless
I'm
you.
more curious about the investigation that's preceding the whole event. Namely because, well, someone fucked up somewhere hugely. And it's not
Yeah.
just the simple fact of, lack of funding.
Oh yeah. Oh, there was another.
Boombox. Yeah.
I feel sorry. Yeah, I feel sorry for the firefighter. That God rest his soul.
Yeah,
You
Corey.
know, poor guy going to light on fire. Now, another furry meme I think I must have come across was this one.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Another one I was memed was I got sent a thing of somebody playing a Pokemon game, and they were playing the one person was using the Trump Pokemon, and another person was using another one, and of course, one guy steps on to the Trump Pokemon and but misses. End of meme. So,
Do you want to post the one that Magnus made?
oh my goodness, my dude.
That's a pretty silly one, man. Come on. He's got the sign and everything.
I know the silly one, but god damn. You okay, yeah, okay, since you put me up to this. Sure. Here you go.
That's crazy. So you have, of course, the iconic picture, and yeah, he's just chilling. I mean, hey,
his guys just had
right
the back saying, "Oh, you go Trump, you got this." I know.
Yeah.
But you know what though? Nothing actually comes crazy to the people, that I know this happened in my own backyard too, but yeah. Some idiot basically came up there live, live during a live performance and wanted to make a wish. And yeah. And needless to say, a lot of people in our thing around the news and all that kind of got pissed at said person trying to make a wish. I'm sure you know about this too, Noble. Kind of made national news.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite familiar, but I live in America, so.
It's got something to do with Jack Black and his Dingo Troop.
Oh, right.
Yes.
I thought you were alluding to totally something else. Oh, I didn't want to talk about that. Yo, Jack Black is crazy. I mean, yeah, he just is. I don't know. Well, he got instantly canceled, and Tenacious D is no longer doing their tours. They canceled everything, and Australia's like, "Yo, go away!" Like they don't even want you because
you done
they were making fun of someone being almost killed. It was in very poor taste, I would say, very poor taste of a joke.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. And there you go. So of course, like the global reaction to this has just been, it's been really insane. And
it has been. I mean, I'm pretty darn sure, like most people across the entire planet have seen this happen. And this is a very interesting one. Did you see those kids in Uganda who reenacted the shooting?
Yo,
that was wild. Like, for those of you who are not familiar, I'm sure you can just find it easily on Twitter or something. Just type in like African kids reenact
in Uganda reenact the
and they actually did. Like it was insane. And they must be like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old or something. Like that's freaking crazy.
And all they did, like they literally just improvised this with a couple of milk crates and some wooden firearms, and it was fucking.
Oh yeah. They're holding up pieces of wood like, oh, it's a gun.
Yeah, you got to give them props for these. It really shows that it really shows heart, man. Like they're the poorest kids, but they're the happiest in the world. You will say.
Well, at least they're playing outside instead of staring at a screen, so probably good.
No, I can imagine you can't. You probably wouldn't be able. You know, most families in Uganda may not be able to afford a screen or have reliable. You know, but that's a story for another time. Not that I know. Still,
And the memes will never stop coming. The crazy T-shirts of these epic photographs are just going to be everywhere.
you know, in like if the Ugandan kids can do such a reenactment, why can't fursuiters do such a reenactment?
Oh, okay. You know what? That did not cross my mind, but that. I mean, sure we could. Do you think that would be funny, or maybe like a historical thing? Like how would you go about that?
No, I mean we'd kind of go do about it, but play it for laughs, of course. I mean, of course, nothing's goofier than a bunch of fursuits reenacting something.
Yeah, and I guess you can have a triumphant furry just being like, "Yo, fight, fight, fight!" That'd be pretty epic. That would be pretty epic, to be honest.
Oh, I know. I'm actually just waiting for some, given enough time, I'm sure maybe somebody may or may not reenact this at a Furcon or something. Who knows? If it's,
Yeah, well, there's always a possibility.
As long as they're using like Nerf blasters or something, they'll probably still get cringe. But taking a real gun and doing that, yeah.
I mean, of course, like
Yeah,
considering that in the space of a Furcon that they've all the dingos have happened, all manners of weird controversies and stuff with like props and guns and all that could happen. Kind of get, but you do it right, and bam.
Yep.
Probably got to make a fursuit with a missing ear as well. If a missing ear to fit the look too.
Well, dude, at the RNC last night and the day before, a lot of people in the audience, they actually had like the bandage on their ear in like solidarity with his injuries. Did you see that? Like, I thought that was kind of cringe, to be honest. Like, that was weird. Like, okay, why would you do that? It just looked weird to me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's the energy that's there.
The energy that's well, yeah, of course, everyone was super happy or whatever. I always wanted to go to one of these crazy events, like a national convention or some kind of rally, like in fursuit, and be recognized or something. Be like, yo, there's a freaking furry there. Like, wouldn't that be crazy?
No, but it would cause you to have like 15 seconds of fame.
Exactly. Yeah, why not?
Now we're going to. I think that about wraps it up for this whole segment. But man, I think the memes will just keep flowing and flowing.
Oh yeah, definitely keep an eye out.
But to continue on with all this sort of stuff that's been happening, we are going to go back to what's happening with Microsoft and all the other stuff that Microsoft seems to own, or at least have part of control of. And so to do that, we're going to go through and find that we found out that one of Microsoft's beloved series is not doing so hot. Yeah, I'm talking about Halo, the TV show on Paramount Plus. And now as we found out, it's been cancelled.
Oh no! A popular video game franchise's television show has been cancelled. That was basically shit.
Oh no! Anyway, yeah. So needless to say, the show lasted for 2 seasons. I never got the chance to watch it.
Wait, there was a second season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I thought there was only one. Okay,
they did.
so that means it wasn't totally terrible. I mean, what was it? Was the second season better?
I wouldn't know. I did not manage to watch it because I did not want to shell out money on streaming services.
Fair enough. I know we talked about it when it first came out.
I know. But the sheer fact is that a lot of the creative decisions and all of that and what they did to Master Chief, and how they handled the PR kind of was its undoing.
Hmm.
Oh no.
'Cause the fact of the matter is, like, you got a main character who for 20 years plus wears a friggin' helmet and nobody has really seen his face other than the whole, background story stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that removes the big element of mystery surrounding the titular character Master Chief. And it's like, why?
Man.
And
No,
on top of that,
yeah. Sorry. Go on.
and on top of that, there's just been so much. If you really look back, there's been kind of like bad PR decisions. Like this, like even the actors have said, this show was not for you if you don't like the whole, Master Chief goes helmetless thing. So that's, that was a negative PR hit.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a particular reason for that in entertainment, and while I agree that yes, in certain cases, 99% of the time, it's like you end up destroying the storyline for it.
Mhm.
Knock it off.
Well, if you don't like it, it's not for you. This is not for you. Yeah, well, who's it for then? I mean, come on. If you're gonna do stuff that fans don't like, of course they're going to give you negative reviews, and they're so salty about it too. I mean, that's pretty much every case with these new shows coming out, especially on Netflix. But is there a reason that they canceled it, or it just wasn't popular enough, or like what was actually the problem?
I mean, of course, it's one thing that it's a ratings thing, but it's also, yeah, I mean, it's a fan reaction to it as well that has got people a lot unsatisfied because, of course, it's not a five. It's not.
I mean, if they got more than one season on Netflix, that probably means at least they did somewhat relatively well, at least in the first one. So, I guess if they were canceled after the second, maybe they just lost a contract or something, probably. It's probably more complicated than that. But
right.
Netflix is pretty much known for like dumping
No, it's
around
not
in
Netflix
shows.
that handled this. It's Paramount that handled it, and even then, the showrunners handled this very, very poorly.
Oh wait, it wasn't Netflix? I thought you said it was.
No, it was Paramount.
Oh, it was Paramount. Okay. Well, never mind everything I just said then. I thought you said it was on Netflix. What the hell? I didn't watch it either, so I'm not entirely sure.
Me neither. It's just, again, not I just don't feel the need to shell out for streaming services. Is all.
Well, me neither. I don't have any of them.
Well, considering the prices are going up, they're wanting to throw ads in on the low tier, the fact they're wanting to like not provide you with like full 1080p or 4K or 8K, video and blah blah blah. I'm just sitting there half the time thinking, you guys can't keep shit simple, can you?
No, they do all this stuff. They hire people who don't know shit about the Halo series to be in charge of directing and all that, in charge of the characters and roles. They don't hire longtime fans of these series. That's one mistake.
I mean, I understand if it's like a classic or like a well-known story or something, but if you're trying to like adapt a video game,
yeah,
especially something like that, like you really do need to know the lore behind it in order to make it at least decent.
You need to know. You need to have played the games. You need to have and understood what the characters are like. You need to understand their personalities, their quirks,
Yeah, of
everything.
course.
You need to know the lore, the world building.
And that's where the good writing comes from, because
Yeah.
like the writers, they know how these characters would respond or how they act, or they know about the world, the history, all of that. But if you just hire people that are like, yeah, make a Halo movie, and they're like, what's Halo? Then it's like, oh boy,
The kicker
you might have
is
some problems.
when they miss the mark on shows like this, they just pull a Dragon Ball Evolution. And that kind of thing pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how I felt about Lord of the Rings too. Like they just, well, I don't want to spiral off into a tangent, but it's kind of the same feeling there, I guess. They hire people that really just don't know the content, that they're trying to do.
That's kind of a given, considering a commonality. Unfortunately, considering how prevalent and this sort of stuff is running around. But unfortunately, this is the sort of stuff that we're stuck with. And it's the same thing. Like if you're doing adaptations of yeah, no, I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but if you're doing adaptations of games and book series and all that, then yes, it's important that you understand, the source of inspiration.
Oh yeah. Well, I always go back to this. Lara Croft Tomb Raider. The first live action movie they made with Angelina Jolie. I mean, obviously, whoever was producing it or directing it, like the writers, they either played the game or they researched her very well, because they got it like on point. So like that was cool.
They practically copy and pasted her whole, body from the game into real life.
I know, right? Like these people knew what they were doing, like precisely. So, and that's how you get a cool movie. I mean, it wasn't the greatest movie in the world, but it was fun. I liked it. Whatever. But it was a good adaptation. It was respectable, I would say.
Well, the whole thing with even the Tomb Raider movie, it didn't take itself seriously. That's the other thing I remember about it. It was more of a fun action movie. Oh, and the best part is the main character was a woman.
A badass.
Can you imagine that?
Pistol wielding, freaking crazy.
Dual wielding, pistol wield.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, shit.
Millionaire archaeologist.
That's the thing that I find difficult is that, movies like that are extremely difficult to pull off, but for some weird ass reason, they managed to just get it perfect.
Right. So I don't know if that would work in a TV show. I mean, it's hard to tell whatever storyline they want to go down, because there are some video games out there with some really incredible storylines that they could adapt into not only movies but entire TV series. So, like, I get why they tried to go down that path, but you got to hire people that actually know the content to make it good and like actually what it's supposed to be. Like,
Well,
that just makes sense, right?
But you need to have actors like Angelina Jolie that know how to act and can actually pull off the bloody stunts for crying out bloody loud. I mean, shit.
Yeah, that's true. You don't need just the writers and production team. Obviously, the actors and actresses, for sure.
Now, 100%, and I guess a whole myriad of other reasons why Halo failed. I guess to kind of segue this into how does this all tie back to Microsoft? They're not doing so hot either, considering they've just had to lay off a good amount of teams, especially. Okay, here we go. Especially in light of questionable business decisions.
So before we go on with this, Microsoft itself, there was a kick up at one point where I don't know if it was Google or Microsoft, but a female manager was pissed off to high heaven because you got people getting hired to work on kernel level coding who are piss poor web developers. I got into an argument with someone about how, that translates. Like, no. Kernel level coding is different than bloody website coding. I mean, shit. You screw up kernel level shit, you're kind of screwed up. You screw up a website, it's like, well, you just got to start from scratch, or undo something. It's just nuts.
Wow. So they fired all of their. Who did they fire exactly?
In
The
this
ex-employee.
case, they fired a diversity in team and all that because now they're slowly realizing these programs and decisions are no longer business critical or smart as they were in 2020. So they had to lay the teams off. And as much as I do hope that this is the course correction that Microsoft, let alone the whole entire creative industry on a larger scale, needs sorely, I'm not so sure they're going to take this lesson to heart very seriously. Because otherwise, we're going to have to go back out there and take C.S. Lewis's advice to heart, which is, it's going to be laborious, but we may have to end up creating our own creative works, be it novels and games and movies and everything else you can think of. But we're going to do it ourselves with no oversight for these people.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, really, if you have if you got these these large scale layoffs, then you can imagine on this scale, and yeah, Microsoft isn't actually really struggling, especially in light of just what on a larger scale, especially in light of what just happened, because a lot of the global computer systems do rely on friggin' Microsoft to run, for crying out loud.
Yeah, barely function. I mean, shit. They used to have a room filled with computers that they tested out on. Every time they were doing an operating system. Nowadays, they just shove it into a VM and be like, "Yep, she works." Yeah, that's been going well for them.
Good.
But no, right down to it, the whole Microsoft thing's sort of getting fucked up. This is going to look bad. The thing we were talking about first off in the show would have basically sent people into oh shit, we're using Microsoft to this whole financial thing being oops. I mean, Windows 11 itself is a joke. It really is.
Yeah.
And now people have had a nice reminder about what happens when your system decides to go, yeah, fuck you.
Man, I miss Windows 10.
I still use it. Look, the whole entertainment thing, expanding into that was a smart idea. But the problem is they decided to follow a bunch of... what's a derogatory term I could use for someone pretending to be a witch or a warlock? Now, I state pretending, not someone who thinks they are, but yet LARPer. Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
LARPer. Okay. Cosplay or whatever.
Yeah, people pulling that sort of shit with DEI kind of fuck themselves 3 ways from Sunday at this point. Because now, instead of companies wanting to expand on certain aspects, they're just basically going to say, yeah, fuck this. No. You should listen to some employees at supermarkets who bitch and moan about the stuff they're getting in now. You can't even do stock rotation because that's a foreign concept to a lot of people.
That sounds so shocking.
Well, it's like people working on this show. It's a foreign concept to them of turning around and writing a good story. Well, why would we want to do that? Propaganda is the only way to actually send a message in this world today. As if telling a good story wouldn't help. Oh, that never does anything good. How many people were left unemployed because of this stupid shit? Did it actually say in the news article?
I think they had to lay off an entire... I'm pretty sure they did have to lay off an entire team.
Right, but that's just...
Yeah, like how many people are in a team?
Of 5? Or could this be like 100?
Maybe an entire department.
Again, what is that?
Again. Like
I mean, obviously it's like it's big news enough where it's being reported on, so it must be quite a few people. I would imagine probably several hundred, right? At least.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, maybe I'm overestimating, but
I mean, the BBC screwed with Doctor Who at this point.
Hmm.
Yeah, the funny thing is, we actually had a female Black Doctor who was just brilliant, perfect, and yet she had to be a throwaway side character. Ugh. Out of
that's lame.
curiosity, did either of you two watch the show we're talking about specifically?
Doctor Who.
No, not Doctor Who. The name escapes me now. I hate this. The Microsoft show,
Halo.
Halo. Was there any
no,
redeeming factors in it? I mean, I remember that whole car meme thing.
I mean, I saw trailers for it and it looked pretty cool, but I haven't actually watched it.
I know about the car memes and all that stuff, but and the production quality, but no, it's to tell you the truth, not really. There's not an awful lot of redeeming features in the whole Halo thing, oh.
I seriously wonder why they couldn't really just stick. How far did they expand? Well, that's a pain in the ass because I can't ask the question about how far they expanded outside of the core storyline.
And even then, I think they went a bit too far, but it's not.
So here's something I'm wondering: the original creators, like whoever developed Halo,
Bungie and all that.
All right, so I'm gonna ask,
don't they have any kind of sway over what is produced, kind of like Lucasfilm does?
I think they no. I'm not sure if 343 currently does now, but and even then,
I mean, if you're the original creator of Halo, don't they have any kind of, I don't know,
no, Bungie
rights?
doesn't have any of that anymore.
No, they probably sold them away, man. Oh, and our previous comment was from the Journal. He said that he saw the series and he's not a fan of it. So, all right, maybe it's not so good.
What I'm curious about is, did they focus less on actual fighting and more on politics behind the whole Earth thing in the franchise?
No, I think they did some out of character stuff as well with Master Chief. The helmet being one thing, but also him basically being kind of like getting sleeping around.
I thought he was like some sort of genetic clone or something of some dude. Or some perfect human. That's going to be bad. Look, soldiers' lives are pretty fucked up. But sorry, this is wrong. The best part about this whole thing is that you get franchises where people are always second guessing about shit, but when they turn around and literally just hand it to you on a platter, it's like, people don't have anything to work with anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting. After 2 seasons, I haven't really even heard much on YouTube about this. Really, no reviews, no reactions, no crazy clips or anything. So it seems to me like this was kind of just like a mediocre. I mean, again, I haven't seen it, so I'm just assuming. But it doesn't seem like it was all that popular. Looking at social media, I don't see it a lot.
You mean like The Acolyte?
No, God. Well, the only videos I see about The Acolyte are trashing on it because it's so terrible. Yeah.
Get the writers from
The Acolyte is more popular because it's worse. Okay, that's why. It's not. That's the reason.
Get the microplastics out of your fucking system and then try to think shit.
I mean, maybe that's a good way to make money. Just make the worst possible series you can and let it go viral and have all the fans, former fans, just trash and hate it and get all these views and stuff. And I don't know. Maybe that's what they were trying to do. Exactly. That was probably their scam. You know what? Maybe. That's what it seemed like. That was bonkers. Oh my god.
I know it's crazy. But if this is anything to go by, it just gives you the representation of the current state of adaptations and the creative industry. I mean,
Creative. What's creative about bloody Velma?
well, exactly. My point still stands. It's the absolute state of creative industry when it comes to producing new TV series and what have you.
The only thing I used to know about Halo is that it was a alien game by that was on the Microsoft
Pretty
platform. I thought it
much.
was owned by Microsoft initially, but no, it turns out
Pretty
anyway.
much.
And it was the whole red versus blue thing.
Yeah, and that's basically from like content creators in the days of like the young days of YouTube and all that.
Yes.
would have
Oh, I
been
was just about to mention
interesting-
red versus blue. Oh, that's such a good idea.
What would have been really interesting is if they had taken the red versus blue team and they gave them access to the actual models used in the game, spiffing them up a little bit, and then made an actual movie from it or a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I really wonder how that would have gone down. Because instead of taking and doing something serious, make something as funny as hell.
Oh man, red versus blue was freaking hilarious back in the day. My friends and I would binge watch those videos. It was like in the early days of
I used to watch them
YouTube.
on Google Video.
Oh, it was so cool. Actually, I think I first saw them. It was either on eBaum's World or Newgrounds.
Newgrounds. That was a
I
good
think
place.
it might have been on Newgrounds, yeah. And then
Oh,
it was on YouTube.
do you remember Bunny Kill?
Bunny? No, I don't think so.
All right, basically it's a Kill Bill thing with bunnies.
Oh, well, that sounds fun. No, I haven't seen it.
It's an utter massacre, by the way, but yeah. Cute little bunny with a sword.
Groovy.
Oh well. I believe that would be pretty much it for the week. And while there's a lot a lot to go through, the craziness just hit fast and hit hard. Would you say? So with that, like which one of you guys would like to just start with a quick little closing statement?
Noble?
Well, the opening of this whole thing with the computer fiasco was just fascinating for me. I still like to sit on the fence and watch it. I was a little worried, so I had my computer turned off thinking, this might be something a little more. Turns out, no. Good. I sometimes love to see people's creative side and what sets them off. Foreboding.
You say that.
And then go woke, get broke.
Yeah.
Right on.
We got to find a cliff to actually name that instead.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a waterfall.
Yeah, and then Avera.
Wow, guys, this was a pretty insane week. First of all, I also want to mention someone named Richard Simmons passed away on the same day that Trump was almost assassinated. He was an American treasure as well, best known for his very flamboyant exercise videos. He was pretty cool. So he was also trending at the same time. Just wanted to mention his name. That every computer, well, I mean, I guess millions of computer systems going out for that amount of time. That is, it just goes to show you how vulnerable some systems can be. So that's pretty spooky. Just something to look out for. I gotta say, man, I mean, I don't know if it was luck or if God had his hand on Trump, because that was an insane moment that we all witnessed across the world. I mean, my goodness. Wow. I mean, I really don't have too much else to say about that. It was just totally bonkers. Like, wow. What a badass coming up with a
and
face
that's
full
really
of blood and everything with a fist in the air. Oh my god, what a freaking legend. But aside from that, guys, I hope you have a wonderful night, and I guess I shall see you next week.
Indeed, and as we always say, thank you for tuning in. Our show can always be found on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Player.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more. Well, that's all we got for the week. Farewell. Till next time.
Later.
Sneaking around.